Hey, what's up? Welcome back to a second week of Marbles Takeover. Of Marbles.
The Marbles Apocalypse.
Marco
Polo?
What? Mark Anthony? You know, my mom told me that if I was...
a boy?
you a boy.
You a boy.
Oh my God, we have this funny video of my niece that she holds it's a 4-second video. She holds a bow over my
like your neck, like a bow tie?
Like a bow tie. And just...
And you had your short hair at this time.
I did have my short hair. She was just, you a boy.
She's like, what, 3?
Yeah, she's a baby. It's so funny. I always want to... I forget. It's on Snapchat. I think I have it on Snapchat.
That's so good.
Oh, it's a Christmas bow. Yeah.
You a boy.
You a boy. She's so cute.
Shout out DayCD. We love you. Hearts
we love you,
girl.
Very much. And Yair too.
And Yair. And Emily. And Hannah. And Charlotte. And Daniel. And Declan. And Jasleen. And Santos. And Cruz. And... Miguel. All the nieces and nephews. We love you guys. Shout outs.
Binks looks really cute right now.
He is. Is that both paws out or?
I can't tell.
He's just a black really void, cute. But it looks like the back half of Binks is loafing, and then it looks like his front arms are just out to a point, and his head is just like down in between them. But we can't quite tell because he's a black void.
He's so cute.
He's a void.
He's a void.
Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, both arms are out, but one is just slightly back.
That's so cute. I don't know how
he's
Binks does it.
It's so effortless for him. I feel like Arlo's just always trying to be cute because he knows he is. But Binks is just existing, man, and he is blowing us away every day.
That is so biased, babe. Arlo
he's
doesn't
my boy.
know he's cute.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
He's just bopping around.
No, you're just biased cute. And...
Well, Binks is my boy. I love him.
Yes, but Arlo's also your son.
Yes, he is. I love him too. I love all the kids.
And Binks is my son. My black son.
Nope.
My black son. Is that not? That's a Family Guy song.
It's referencing Family Guy. Don't cancel us.
I told you guys, if you guys are going to cancel us, cancel me. You cannot cancel Alyssa. She has never done a bad thing in her life.
Oh, thanks.
I love you.
I love you. So what's today's episode going to be about?
Today's episode is absolutely not planned.
Nothing.
There's
Nonsense.
absolutely nothing to talk about. I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot going on in the world right now.
There's just there's no subject to this, you know? It's just us talking. Yeah.
All right. You know how I do with pressure on me when there's pressure on me to talk.
Do you remember that the other day Alyssa and I were talking about I mentioned a conspiracy. Well, I made a conspiracy. I was like, oh, that's a good conspiracy. We were talking about how weird it is that I was saying that pandemics are caused by an outside Earth virus. Do you remember this conversation?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, it has to be an alien virus, because my theory is that we're not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be here. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
So I was telling Alyssa, this conversation is everywhere now.
That's what it is.
I was telling Alyssa that my theory is that we are not from this earth, and we come from something else. We come from somewhere else. Look, listen, I understand that all species at some point they get sick, you know. But as far as I know, I've personally never heard of a pandemic of an animal, or like in the animal kingdom.
Right, you know, besides the meteors. But it's like normally extinction happens over like hundreds and thousands of millions of years over time.
And it's because of a natural event.
Right.
It's not because they're getting each other sick.
Like humankind is weak AF, like to so many things here on Earth.
Right.
There's like random parasites in the water,
right?
Tiny little jellyfish that can kill you.
Well, yes, but I know anything can kill us. But I'm just saying that the fact that humans are maybe there's other species that I don't know about. And if you are listening to this and you're like, oh my god, she's such a fucking idiot,
please let us know. She always says how she wants hate mail.
Yeah, please
let her have it.
What's your favorite scary story at gmail.com? But I was like, why is it that humans always only get sick the way we do? And then I was like, well, I don't think that would mean we're not from here, because like what would it be, like a gecko or an iguana? Mm-hmm. You keep them in their habitat,
right? And
they're used to their world, to their environment, Mm-hmm. And then if you, what was my theory? Oh my god, I'm just trying to say that humans are not supposed to be on Earth. Something else brought us here.
Because we were talking about how, like, whether, like, whichever you believe in, like, if you believe that God just placed us here, or evolution, I was, like, pointing out how both of those are kind of wild. Like, how did we just turn from one thing into another, and then into another, and then just slowly became this as a society? That's just as wild as, like, God popping us down here, honestly, to me. Yeah. Like, and it's just so interesting to, again, we're just talking here. Please don't cancel me or Marlene. Neither of us need to be canceled. We're just talking out loud our thoughts. No, like, if you're listening, we're not making any claims.
If you're listening to this, we always say this is a safe space. Yes. We're just here for conversation. And,
because after this, I have not necessarily a conspiracy theory, but like a hot take I'm going to bring up. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm excited.
So.
But yeah, so that's my theory, is that we're not, right. And so that theory of that us not being from Earth just, it just solidifies my other theory that aliens put us here.
Because what are aliens? Otherworldly beings, right? Like, which is what God is described as, an otherworldly being, right? Right. It's like just as likely to me, honestly.
Yeah, and If you know a good little take on the Sumerians, it's like the Sumerians are the first recorded human, I guess, on Earth. Whether you like the UN or not, there's a book that I was gifted for my birthday last year. Actually, I think it was, or 2 years ago.
The one my mom got you?
The one that Diane,
I think it was like 2 years ago.
I read a good part of it. It's a big book. I haven't read all of it.
It's like all the information.
It's like all the information of all the human history, based off of what the United Nations wants to let us know.
Right.
But still, it has a lot of good information, and it's just a good little book to cozy up with, and
for have a couple years and read through.
Have an existential crisis.
Right.
But yeah, so like the Sumerians first recorded humans, and there's a theory with the Sumerians that they were placed on Earth by aliens, and humans were just simply here to slave for aliens, to hunt and gather gold, to power their UFOs.
Oh.
So yeah, it's just to like get gas. I mean, not gas, to get fuels for their things, and like
never heard that before.
Materials too, to build their stuff. And
so then we're just like they're the worker
eventually
bees.
Worker bees. Eventually, we all kind of
evolved.
We evolved, and we started thinking for ourselves.
Us.
Yeah, I feel like I think I remember that at some point we got to a point where they just didn't see any value in this anymore, and so they were like, "All right, well, peace. You guys do your thing."
That's so interesting.
Yeah, so they're like that. This is why I don't think that aliens are necessarily evil. I mean, I think there's different kinds of species, I guess, of aliens.
Because like think about it, just is mind-boggling, and it's never going to stop boggling my mind how big just like everything is, the universe, space, like how many planets and stars are out there, like billions and billions and billions. Right. There can't just be one kind of not human out there, you know?
Yeah. And then so like where does that put them on our timeline, and like how unevolved does that make us? Because we can't travel as fast as they can. Or maybe they can, and that's their elites in their world, you know? The ones that are traveling and time traveling and stuff. Right. Or maybe they look like that. Like aliens look like aliens. Like the way you think about them. Gray skin, big eyes. Because it's an effect of the time, the wormholes.
Babe, what the heck? Your mind just, when it gets going, man.
it like affects you so much that it literally like jumbles up the DNA in you and just slowly starts developing into like thicker skin and no melanin, because you're like not taking in sun anymore, and you're just your body's just building itself, like transforming itself to.
I mean, it's like that's probably how they evolved.
For time traveling. Yeah.
Damn. Oh my god.
So maybe we are them, but in a different timeline.
What the heck? That's insane. Have you thought of that before right now?
No, I'm sober as heck right now.
I love you. You're amazing. What is your mind?
So this, I mean, that, babe, once you know this, once you get me going, I start thinking.
What were we? We were in Five Below, just walking around, and we were talking. We brought up like time travel and like the Jesuits or something, and we said like 2 sentences about it, and then I was like, yeah, so whenever you want to go, we can head over to lunch. And Marlene just looks at me and she's like, you can't bring up that topic and then just go to that.
And then we're eating at lunch, and you know, I'm taking a bite, so it's kind of quiet because we're both chewing. And then she was like, yeah, by the way, what do you want to talk about, Jesuits? I was like, what?
That's my kind of ADHD. Okay.
I'm like, I'm over here like, oh, maybe I should get another bite of, you know, my buffalo fries or whatever the heck I was eating. But
you know what, I thought of it, and I was like, let me bring it up before I forget.
Yeah.
And then she explained it to me.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. But yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Wild.
Aliens. Yeah, heck
or
yeah.
not aliens. Us.
Yeah, it could
potentially
be us in the future. Wow. Or us now. No, I think it's us in the future. It's got to be.
Who knows anymore? I don't know what to believe.
Nobody knows but knows.
Right. Are you ready for my hot take?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you can't get offended because it's like kind of about you, but it's not to be offensive. My mind was just going and thinking like wandering off kind of thing. So don't cancel me. I'm just talking out loud, and nothing means anything, okay? Nothing I say means anything. So last night, Marlene and I went to the 21 Pilots concert, and she's been like dying. It's her favorite band. She's been so looking forward to it for like a year, and we finally went. And so we're there, and the show's going. It's a great show, and Marlene like just like loves them. Like they mean a lot to her. She's loved them since like the very beginning. And there's people there in the pit, and they're just like so into it. And like, you know, the camera will roll back and forth, so you see some of the audience in the pit like up on the screen.
Yeah.
And so there's some people there like just kind of like crying and just feeling so emotional. And you yourself too were like, you cried a few times, your hands were up in the air. And I should have said what my hot take was before I got into this. So this is going to sound so bad now. Okay. It's not offensive, and I don't mean it like for reals, but my hot take is that not all cults are bad. Because what I was witnessing at the concert last night in all honesty, it looked very similar to like when people are in church and your hands were up, like both like raised, and that's how people like praise God when they're feeling like really emotional in church, and you looked just like them. But I know like what this band has done for people. Like, it saved your life. It saved like so many people's lives. People like had it written on their hands, like thank you and stuff, and like it just was really emotional and like how much they mean to you. But it was just like a little bit of like a little culty that had been formed. But it's such a good thing because they just do good and they care about their fans, and their fans are what helps like them get through, because you know, like he's felt like the way they felt, and so that's why he writes this music. And oh babe, don't cry, I'm sorry.
I just cry because they do mean a lot to me.
I know they do. And so that I'm like, well, it's like similar behavior, but it's a good thing.
Right. So I just to give some context of like their music in a sense, earlier on in their music career, a lot of the songs were they were mostly kind of like God based. I actually at a point considered them like a Christian rock band because a lot of their early songs are quite literally about God. And the singer, the main Tyler Joseph, his struggle with mental health, and I mean he's Christian, so it's very evident in his songwriting that he's singing to God or singing about God, which is why every concert they end with trees, and it like that song's like very obviously very much about God. And so when I hear the songs, that the older songs, those are, at least to me and a big group of the fan base, it does really, like, we correlate it back to, you know, it's original like Christian roots kind of thing. And I think that's why I feel like that passionate, and it makes it look culty, because it could feel like, you know, like you're saying, like you're praising something, like you're feeling it, you know, giving it your energy to, and you know, kind of thing. I know what you mean, and I see it, and then everyone just kind of dressing up as something,
right?
Like dressing up as the lead singer, and the colors, it's always color coordinated no matter what
I mean, it's
era
just
it is. So
that's just honestly like where I see the dedication come in. But like the difference between that and like actual cults that like are bad is there aren't all these rules and judgment and like hate and what's supposed to be like a religious like situation. It just comes out like obviously we all know cults are bad, and it's they're tricking and brainwashing these people into doing horrible things, but some of the behaviors just kind of like correlated. But it's just, so that was my hot take, like I guess not all cults are bad, but you know, very few and in between.
Yeah. And I guess technically speaking, like it wouldn't, we wouldn't be considered a cult.
No, I'm not but genuinely saying that.
I can see the cult like,
it just made me think
environment.
It just made it like literally you looked exactly like I've seen in the scary ones, you know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, that's and some not scary. Like I mean, some people do that in church. You know, I just didn't grow up going to a church like that, and so when I do see that, it just is a little foreign to me, and I don't understand it. And there's different levels too of the way that people act where some of them I really don't understand, but that's harmless, obviously. Like, you're just praising what you believe in so much, and that's what you were doing last night. And so that's just right. And I'm not saying if you're religious you're in a cult. I'm not saying that, but I feel like the word cult is just so, like, what's the word, vague,
right?
Like, there could be so many different levels of it. Like Heaven's Gate, that cult is bad. Right, that is a hardcore cult, and it was horrible. But then there's just people that dedicate and like devote their whole life to their religion, and I feel like it is still under like the category, like you know, it could, like, it goes all the way down to fans of bands, right? Is what I'm saying. And so, again, I'm just talking out loud. Yeah, my thoughts fine. Don't always make sense. I'm not even offended. Yeah, and I'm not judging anyone. Yeah. I'm judging like the creators of like actual cults that are taking advantage of people. You guys suck,
and you're just making like some comparison without it. I mean, you're just saying it just looked
right. It just like reminded me of it. Yeah,
things, but it's not it. But
right. Yes.
I mean, you can say that about any fan base, really.
Exactly. Yeah, the freaking people that are obsessed with Starbucks cups and can't not get the new one, you know,
right?
Like,
yeah, like that's probably
that pay like $200 for
that's
a
what
rare
I was gonna
one.
Say. Yeah, like that's probably even
too.
Worse.
For real. At least like your guys' stuff like means something.
Yeah, and you've seen like it's like a community, you know?
It was so beautiful.
Yeah, like you can literally talk to anyone there. Like I talked to the guy sitting next to me, and like that's just how all their concerts are, and everyone's super nice.
It's a good vibe.
The best show, 21 Pilots show I've ever been to, Nashville. The crowd is perfect. It's so small, and it's the best crowd. And I've been to like, I don't know, like 6 other concerts of theirs, and they've all been in LA, but this crowd is like I'm glad that this is gonna be the crowd we're going to the future.
And it's kind of like their second home too, because they come here to record a lot. So yeah. It just is like a good feeling from them too that they put out into their show.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love them, and I don't care if it's a cult. I like myself.
I like yourself too.
Thanks.
Well, that was an interesting episode.
Yeah, I just figured, I knew that something was bound to come out. Yeah.
It always does.
It always does.
And I just roll with it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what, that's how it goes sometimes.
Hey, I had something to contribute this time.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for at least make me a cult leader.
Yeah, of course. You were with them since the beginning, so.
I was. But yeah, that's the episode. Thanks for
listening. We are still in the UK. Our next episode will be our Halloween episode. I'm so excited. I've got to think of something good for that. I promise I will deliver. But I'm excited.
My birthday's on the 29th, so
it is. So I think the next episode after this comes out the day after your birthday. I think. Let me double check.
Isn't it the Halloween
You're
episode?
a Tuesday. Well, it's like the quote Halloween episode, but it's the day before Halloween because it comes out on Wednesday.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so Thursday is the 31st.
Yeah, so I'm going to be 29 this year.
It's your golden birthday.
It is my golden birthday.
Yay.
And we're in Nashville, which makes it even cooler. But if you want to send your birthday wishes and your birthday hate, please send them to whatsyourfavoritescarystory@gmail.com, or you can send it to go ahead.
I was like, you always have me say this part. Or you can message us on Instagram, and that is also at whatsyourfavoritescarystory. She's just smiling all derpy like over at me. Oh, Bings had a good stretch.
That was a good stretch. I want to go pet him.
He looks very pettable right now. Well, we're going to go pet Binks now. We will talk to you guys next week on our Halloween episode. Remember to send us in your suggestions because we are starting those back up after our next episode. And we love you guys. Have a wonderful time.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon. And until next time,
stay spooky.